Welcome to the Illinois Script. I'm your podcast host, Olivia Moffitt, a.k.a. A Girl About Champaign-Urbana. I'm a University of Illinois graduate and a local townie here. Today, we have Jasmine Brown-Hagger. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to talk to you, get into your journey of how you came to University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana. I know that you're from Shorewood, Illinois, so Illinois is your home state. So you are a senior here at the University of Illinois, and you're a guard. You also went to Mississippi State. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So, and then also you started all 34 games for Illinois last season. That's a little crazy, but awesome. Props to you.
What's up, Illini fans? This is Jasmine Brown-Hagger with the women's basketball team. Seeing those golden arches always means you're close to one of your favorite meals. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or just a quick snack, McDonald's has you covered. Go visit your Central Illinois McDonald's locations today.
So let's go ahead and dive into learning a little bit more about yourself, your personality. Tell me about 3 words you would use to kind of describe yourself.
Oh, wow. I would use sarcastic as one.
Great.
Really funny. And then I think I'm reliable. 3 words I would use.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about your phone background, what you find yourself navigating to the most whenever you pick up your phone. What's your first go-to app? If we were to look at your screen time, what would be your most heavily used app?
For sure, Block Blast. I'm on Block Blast.
What is Block Blast?
So it's like a game. I don't have my phone with me right now, but it's like, what's that one game, like Tetris?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but you just trying to clear the board. And I'm playing that all the time, to pass time. And second would probably be TikTok, but for sure Block Blast.
Okay, wow, I haven't heard of that. I really don't play many games on my phone anymore, but I mean, you got to find something to kill the time.
Yeah.
And it's honestly got to be better than scrolling.
It is. And it's kind of mental. I like to tell myself so.
All right. Well, let's talk about, if you're texting your teammates, are you somebody to just text? Do you pick up the phone, call them? Are you FaceTiming them? Do you send voice memos? What's your preferred way of communicating with your teammates and friends?
I'm kind of everywhere.
Okay.
But if I need something right away, I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
But if I'm okay with it, I'll just send a quick text, because I don't know what they're doing half the time.
Yeah. What's something that you really enjoy doing now that you didn't so much in high school?
Ooh. Something I enjoy doing now that I did in high school is watching movies. I was never a big movie watcher.
I was not either. That totally changed when I came to school here.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I just watched The Lord of the Rings, the first episode, or whatever. Series, I don't even know. First movie. It was long, but it was pretty good to get into it. But I'm not a big movie watcher, so I'm trying to.
It's nice to just be able to immerse yourself in something and take your brain to a different space for 2 or 3 hours, because there's just not much else that you can do
at all
that'll take you away. And let's talk about we're going to dive into your background. Tell us about why basketball. Did you compete in anything else growing up? What was your first sport that you played whenever you were younger? Let's talk about it.
So my mom, she made sure her kids were a jack of all trades, master of none. We could do a little bit of everything, but we weren't the best at one specific
She
thing.
kept you guys busy.
Yeah, she just kept us busy. But growing up, I did do competitive dance.
Okay.
And that's something I did for majority of my life, won championships and stuff doing dance.
Wow.
And I was jazz, contemporary, palms, whatever.
Amazing, yeah.
Of that sort. And then I was playing basketball alongside of that. So those are my 2 main sports. And it became I was coming from dance competitions to going to play basketball games, full makeup, hair done, just got on the road for 4 hours.
We love the versatility.
Yeah, I was doing a lot. And my mom was okay, you're going to have to make a decision eventually. So this maybe 8th grade, maybe 7th or 8th grade, where I had to okay, I need to make a decision on which one.
Gotta dial in.
I eventually did choose basketball because at that point I was getting mail from schools, and it was just kind of
eye-opening.
This is an option,
Yeah.
if I stick with this sport. And mind you, at that time I wasn't giving everything I had into the sport. And
Yeah, you were imagine if.
That's what I'm saying. So that's kind of just was our conversation as a family, and just okay, so we're just gonna prioritize this one and give everything into it, and led me here. So
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about what is your current day-to-day schedule here at the University of Illinois look like? Tell us about kind of the off season, what that looks like for you, and in the season when the school's in session, and then versus summer, June and July months.
Okay. So right now, summer session right now, just because I'm living it right now, it's easier to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I wake up for the most part at maybe 7 o'clock. I'm up at 7.
Naturally kind of early riser, or you just like...
Well, I feel like it depends.
Yeah.
On the weekends, like me sleeping in is like 8:30.
Yeah.
9 o'clock. Like if I'm like 10, 11, something like I'm probably sick or something. But
Yeah.
like, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
I
my
feel
gosh,
that.
I slept in. I feel so good. It's like 8:30. And I get up. So,
yeah, getting that solid 8 or 9 hours in.
So I am kind of an early riser. I think 7:30 is like my normal range of waking up. But in the summer, I'm up at 7. It doesn't take me much to get ready. I promise you. I get up, and I'm one of those people, like when the alarm goes off, I'm like,
Yeah.
So like
don't sit around in bed.
I don't sit around in bed and like scroll. So I'll get up at 7, I'll go right to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face. And honestly, I'll just throw on my workout clothes and like I'm out the house. Like and I'll see like my one teammate Manu, she's just making her coffee. I'm like, good morning. Bye. Like that's literally
I'm
it.
in, I'm out.
So I'm out the house for the most part by 7:15. And then I'm on the court warming up, working out at 7:30. Some of the managers getting some shots up. And then they have us breakfast at 8:15. So I'm eating breakfast by 8. If we
Nice
have
to not have to think about it and just settle into that routine. And
I'm so grateful for them.
Yeah.
With how they're helping us with our nutrition and stuff, and trying to make sure that we have all these options to eat and eating the right things, the clean things. So
it's nice to be able to take that. There's almost so much else that you have to do. So to have that kind of laid out for you and to know what you need to fuel yourself with, just it's one less thing you kind of got to worry about.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do when real world comes.
It's gonna hit you hard. Yeah,
but, I'll take advantage of it right now.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
That's probably what I'm about doing. 8:15, 8:30, and then sometimes we do have meetings with our sports psychologist Becky, or with our sports nutritionist Chloe. So that'll probably go until 9, and then I have from 9 to 10 before workout. So I'm getting in the sauna, doing my pool workout,
taking advantage of the
mobility.
Yeah,
exactly, and doing my treatment or whatever my warm up is with Autumn, our athletic trainer. And then sometimes in the morning as well, I may do film with Coach Britt. So it just kind of depends like what day and kind of how the flow is. But that's kind of what my 9 to 10 will look like. Then we're on the court from 10 to 11. Then we have lift from 11
Stacked.
Well, it just kind of depends. It's individual lifts, scheduled times. Mine is at right after practice. So I go right after practice. Then I do my pool flush, treatment,
all the things,
shower, and then I kind of leave from the gym. So that's kind of my day at the gym. I'm kind of out for the most part by 1:30. So I'm there from 7:30 to 1:30.
Yeah, that's a full day.
Yeah, and I'm out. And then after that, go do my homework because we're in school right now.
Yeah,
so
you gotta find
trying to do my homework.
Fit that in too.
Right there, got my homework in, and then it just kind of depends. Like if I want to go out to lunch with some of my teammates, or sometimes I go to Sholem, get in the lazy river, just enjoy the lazy river, or there's been times.
Great pool.
Exactly, I enjoy it.
That's what I don't feel like many people that I talk to that go to school here kind of realize that that's so close. And a lot of people don't really have cars, so it's not super convenient for them to get over there, but it's an excellent pool, and that lazy river is amazing.
It's nice. Like I sit in a lazy river for like 3 hours sometimes, just rolling around. Now when you get by like the animals, like they have like the horses and stuff over there, I'm like oof. But like for the most part, I enjoy it, and it's convenient, and it's not expensive to go either. So that's kind of like that. Or we'll go to our coach's house and we'll swim as a team. So kind of what I'm doing after the gym, it kind of just depends on like what I'm feeling. Or I watch a movie. So
yeah, there you go. That's perfect. And then let's talk about what's something that people don't understand about being a student athlete?
I personally don't think people understand how hard it really is. Like,
absolutely.
I don't think they understand like it is like I don't know. Like I hear people like have
grind.
Yes, like it's a constant grind. It's a constant like mental battle, like to wake up and do certain things. Like I hear certain people like, oh my gosh, like I'm so busy, like I don't have time to do this project, or I didn't have time to study for this test and all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, and like
just be intentional.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm very like, understanding of like certain things like that too, because I do know like certain students like work and they work crazy because they have to pay like for school, but like kids that like don't do anything and like just party, and I'm just kind of like, okay, but like I'm here showing up for the group project and I just came from practice. Yes, I'm here, hair wet, sweaty, like just left the gym, but like, you know, I'm here for this group project, but like you can't show up. So I think for me, it's just kind of like one of those things.
You
like,
have to give your 100% to everything you do.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it's very hard like as a student athlete because academics is so important here that it's very hard to kind of like half do it. Like you kind of have to fully be in it, because if you half doing it, you're getting in trouble from pretty much everyone. So it's just kind of one of those things that you really have to be disciplined in. And I don't really think a lot of people understand that part of it, because they're like, well, shoot, like, you know, well, one,
must be nice.
That's what I'm saying. Now we're getting paid too, so that's another thing that like it's kind of just like, okay, well, now you're getting paid and you just have to go out there and play a sport,
too, like
all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that is true, like, and I'm grateful for all of that stuff, but also I'm still going through all of it and doing it, and what are you doing on the back end to kind of like, you know, I feel like they just have more time than we do and don't use it to the best of their advantage. So yeah.
How old or young were you when you realized that playing basketball was what you wanted to do?
Yeah,
that was kind of your calling.
I was probably like 13, 14 years old. So that transition going into high school is probably when it was really like, oh, this is something I can do. And I kind of did have that feeling. I don't know how old I was, but when Notre Dame, the women's team, went to the Final Four, I was able to go to the Final Four that year, and I did like some camp or something. And that was the first time like I've ever seen like college hoops like live, even watched a game. And, you know, that was like when Enrique hit like those double like buzzer beaters back to back. And like, you know, Notre Dame won the championship. That atmosphere is
just next level.
That's what I'm saying. So like being there, it was just kind of like, oh, wow, like, you know, I probably have the potential to kind of be in, you know, this situation and play these like this caliber of people. And, you know, I think I was a little bit younger than 13 when I had that moment, but I do know like when I was like 13, 14, that's when I really was just like this is something that I'm going to do. And like lock into it. Training, had different types of schedules, all different types of trainers. And that's about it.
And then what was your journey like out of high school and then in again in the transfer portal and then being recruited by Illinois?
Yeah. So out of high school, transferring to college. Yeah. I feel like that is a drastic change. Like,
nobody prepares you for that.
Yes, nothing can
that is
prepare
all on
you
you
for it at all. Like the academics or the athletics, like no one can prepare you for it. Prepare you for it. And I try and tell people this all the time, like when I go back and I speak to high schoolers and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, do what you can now, but like it's still not gonna like help you as much when you get to college, because you're kind of gonna have to figure it out, because it's very different and you're in a different environment around different people, so it's not gonna be like what you're used to. But the biggest transition for me was the conditioning piece. From high school to college, the court's bigger, you're playing like stronger people. Like my first year, I was playing a player that was 24 and I'm like 18.
Yeah, you're like 18 years old. You're like
24-year-old 6'7" girl, like, you know, so I think, you know, when you're making that transfer, just realizing that, you know, strength and your conditioning is very important when it comes to that. So that's kind of like when you do go talk to high schools, that is what you're telling them. Like the basketball is going to figure itself out, but the conditioning and the like how rigorous it is on your body and that kind of thing, like the physicality, like that's something that you can't get prepared for in high school until you like just come to college.
You gotta just experience it and adapt.
Yep. And then in the portal, I think something that was hard for me was just the environment, pretty much. Like, yes, I'm from Illinois and it's the same like off-court environment for me, but like on-court environment, like I came from an environment like where we could do whatever we want, like, you know, there wasn't that much structure, that kind of thing. So coming to Illinois, like I used to get in trouble like every day. Like,
there's no time for that here
at all. Like mind you, we working out at 6 a.m. I was walking in the gym at like 5:57 a.m. and like my teammates like, yo, Jazz, like you can't do that. Like they're all there like an hour before. Like, hold on, like we working out at 6. How are you at the gym at 5:15?
Yeah,
like, I was not built for that. I was walking in at 5:55 in pajamas and just changing and getting on the court. So it was just kind of like one of those things. Like, no, like you have to change that. You know, the coaches are always on me. Like, yo, you know, you got to be a better practice player. Like, you need to come in, like, talk, you know, you're too lax. Like, it was just very different because, like, where I was before, like, that's just not what it was. Like, half the time we didn't even practice. Like, it was just kind of like, all right, like, yo, like, or teammates got in a fight and just kind of like, all right, like, wrap it up and I'll just go to the rec and, you know, just play at the rec. So coming here and that was very different, and being held accountable to all those different types of things that I probably
by coaches and your teammates too, because some of them are older and they're like, you gotta lock in.
Yes, exactly. And also that year I came here, that was like when it was like an all veteran team, like the 5
especially
seniors
and,
you know, KB, Dow, Jen, Bryn, like all of them. So like they weren't going for any of that.
And
I was just like, oh.
They're like, we got no tolerance.
they let me go for a little bit, and then after a while when I started pushing it, they were just like, nah. So, you know, I think that was very different.
Yeah, it sets a standard. You just gotta jump in and fit in and put yourself, jump in it. How we're gonna talk about your journey to Illinois. How old or young were you when you realized that playing college basketball wasn't just a dream and that you were actually gonna turn that into a reality?
Yeah, that's probably like one of those things, maybe my sophomore year of high school, when, you know, you're starting to get all these calls. I think my late sophomore year.
That has to be insane.
Man, it was ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. That is like a stressful journey as well. Because it's almost like you're dating these people in a way. Like, I'm not, I don't know if that's the right terminology.
No, that makes total sense though to somebody like me.
Like, it's just like you're dating, trying to build all these connections. You know, Love Island talk now. Trying to build all these connections. And it's just kind of like.
You're flirting, like, to see.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you can't fully give to like all of them, like, oh yeah, like because then it's like setting like high expectations or giving false hope and all those kinds of things. So just trying to be like really realistic with a lot of the coaches, and, you know, you're hoping that they're being very transparent and stuff with you. Like, that's another thing, the trust part of it. But kind of just going through that experience is something that really made me realize, like, whoa, like, this is my reality, you know, like, or one of my coaches like telling me like, yo, you need to, like, my personal coach, like, yo, you need to take your phone off D&D, like, you know, like, all these people are calling. I'm like, well, that's kind of the reason
we're
why
used to just like being like locking it and putting it down, but it's like, no, you don't get that off. You don't get that anymore.
You don't get that, but
every missed phone call is a missed opportunity.
It really is. And that's something I was just like, wow, like, you know, like, this is a position a lot of people will be like wanting to be in.
Absolutely.
So, you know, you kind of have to be grateful for the good, the bad, whatever it is. Like, be grateful for the opportunity and realize that this is going to be your reality for however long. And I really think that's kind of when it really clicked to me, like, whoa, like, you know, you're really going to maybe
this is gonna
do something big and play in college, something that you've like thought about for like maybe 3 years at that point. And like, to see that like transform in a 3 year span of time, like, which is not that much time from when you really thought about it to now it actually happened, and was really big.
Yeah, that's huge. I want you to think about your younger self right now and think about what advice you would want to give to her to kind of just maybe lessen the nerves or the overwhelmingness of trying to make these big decisions. And what would you tell her?
I would tell her to be confident in her decisions and kind of be confident in what she feels, because when I really like think about a lot of things that transpire and all that kind of stuff, I could sit here and say like, dang, when coming out of high school, I should have picked Illinois instead of going to Mississippi State. But I mean, Mississippi State gave me some of the best friendships I have, relationships I have, and it taught me a lot at the same time. And then I still was able to come to Illinois and have a really good time here. So kind of, you know, telling my younger self, like, just be confident in the decisions you made, whether you like regret it later, not even regret it, but just in that moment think like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done this. Like, no, just be confident in what you decide and just know that everything's going to work however it's supposed to work. Like, I feel like we make a lot of decisions and just like, oh, I should have maybe, no, like, just own it. Own like what you did.
Trust the process.
Exactly. Trust the process more. And I feel like if I've done that, and continue to do that, I'll probably be in a lot better situations and grateful for a lot more things.
Yeah, I think you're in a pretty good situation right now.
Thank you.
Though. Yeah, of course. What was your journey like going from high school to the Power Four as a freshman?
Honestly, you know, my freshman year, it was just cool to like be like, oh wow, like I was watching this, like, you know, at home on the couch, and then just kind of like being in it was just a different experience, and playing like certain players, like all that kind of stuff. Like my freshman year, like, you know, we ended up beating LSU my freshman year, and that was just kind of something I was just like, whoa, like, you know, Like, that's like a lot of, they had a lot of people on that team that year. And like, obviously that was the high of our season. But like, for me personally, that was just like, oh, wow, dang, like I'm really here in this moment. Like, whether I was watching it or whatnot, dreaming about it, like I'm here in it. And then even like here being at Illinois in this position, and, some of us just went to a Sky game a couple of weeks ago. And we're like seeing people we just played, like, and we're like, oh wow, like this is real.
That's
like,
surreal.
So I think it's just kind of cool to see like everyone succeed in their own way, like whether you guys are competitors or teammates and all that kind of stuff. I feel like being in this environment, it's so small that you get to see the benefits and see like what everyone accomplishes and support them, and whether it's from a distance and whatnot. And it's just like one of those things that's just like, oh wow, like you're gonna have your like moment and just kind of wait for it and just be still in what you're in.
Yeah. So tell me about how special it is for you to be able to put on that jersey for University of Illinois and know that you're playing for a team in your home state. And
Yeah, I think at first I kind of took it for granted. I don't really think I truly like understood like what it meant for me or for like, I don't know, just like going out there and playing for Illinois, especially my first year. Like coming in, I was just kind of like, oh, like, it is what it is. Yes. Like, my teammates, my first year, like they had like rivalries and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, I didn't like feel that, I was just kind of like, oh, like, we're just here, like here hooping and whatnot. And I think last year it really like meant a lot more to me than it did my first year, especially like once you lose those people that really made and kind of turned the program around. And like see the kind of pride that they had for all the little things and, why they were successful and what they did and won like a postseason championship. It's just kind of like you don't want to lose that. And I feel like only a couple of us on the team got to witness that team. So I think last year I kind of took that like, oh, wow, like, you have to be prideful and like what you're standing for, or like it loses its value and its meaning. Yeah, but thank God we do have a coach that is very passionate and like, she knows exactly what the program is and what the Illinois means for her and what she wants it to mean for everyone else.
She instills that in you guys.
Exactly. So it's like very easy to become prideful in that, especially when you see the benefits of it. So I think last year I really like was like, oh wow, like, when you put the jersey on, like represent,
we're here,
like don't be ashamed of it, like represent what we stand for. We play clean basketball. Yes. We're a family and like we're all united, and at the end of the day we all want to see each other succeed on and off the court. So just own that. So I'll tell anyone to like come to Illinois if that's something you're about and be boastful about it.
Yeah, the bond that you guys have in the team and the relationship that Shauna Green has built is really, really admirable. It's really special. We want to talk about the process of you deciding between here and elsewhere. Like, tell me about that process. If it was hard, or if there was a certain point where you were like, "That's it. Like, that's where I'm going." In that decision.
Yeah, it was never really hard. I mean, this staff I've had a really great relationship with for a really long time. Like when Coach was at Dayton and everything, they were like one of my first visits I took out of high school. So we've always had that relationship. It didn't really feel like much time was like passed when we reconnected or anything. I think the hardest part about making this decision to come back to Illinois was one, being home. I was just kind of like, oh, like I want different experiences.
There's a desire to go out and see what else is out there, but there's nothing wrong with Illinois.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just kind of like, like home, like, I'm going to be around. I see the same people like all the time. Like, it's not different from high school,
Yeah, that's crazy.
But like I had my experience. I went to Mississippi State and I had a fun time, off the court. So it's just kind of like, all right, so that was one thing. And then another thing was just kind of like almost the same as like, what else? Like, what else is out there? Like, what else?
There's always that curiosity.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Can I take advantage of? Because this, in a way, almost felt like comfort because I knew them so much. And it was just kind of like, but when it really came down to like making a decision, it was more so like I went somewhere that didn't represent my values. And it's just kind of like you have to be realistic. Like go somewhere where you feel like your values align with them and that you're not going to feel out of place and that kind of thing. So that's kind of why eventually I did end up choosing Illinois, because I feel like Coach Green and her staff represent like what I want to be when I get older, and the kind of things that I want to instill in myself and be consistent in. So I really think that they push you past what you even think that you could be or capable of, regardless if it's basketball or not basketball. They just want you to be the best, and I think ultimately that is why I decided to come here.
Yeah, what advice would you give somebody who was in your place and like trying to maybe had that desire to go kind of see what else was out there and had their home state or Illinois on their mind and was like, I don't know, maybe like what advice would you give them to maybe kind of help convince them of that decision?
Yeah, personally, like when we have recruits come, one thing I always tell them is that I don't really know what place can be better than Illinois. Like, I really try and think about it, especially coming from a different experience. I'm just kind of like,
you're like, I've seen it.
That's what I'm saying. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, like water where you're at. And they don't treat you bad here. Like, so it's kind of like one of those things like, yeah, okay, you may be thinking about something else, but I promise you, like, this is probably one of the best situations you can be in college sports. And I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but
no,
I personally, like, when I hear other people talk about their experiences and stuff, I'm like, wow, like, this is probably one of the best places to be.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like they treat, off the court, they treat everyone the exact same way. Yeah. Like, they want everyone to exceed on and off the court, and, they care about certain things. Like if things are going on at home, they're there and they're willing to care about you in that aspect. And
the relationships.
That's what I'm saying. The books, the reading, the books, academics, the nutrition. Like they're giving us so much stuff like that is like beyond just basketball to use. And, Coach Green talks about it all the time, like just being an everyday woman. And, you see it in her. Like she's almost like a broken record. Like she says the exact same things all the time. Half the time you know what she's going to say before she even says it. But that's why the program is what it is. And that's why she gets the players that she gets, because she's very consistent in who she is and what she stands for. And I feel like that's a coach you will want to be with, not someone who's like very wishy-washy or very trendy or like goes with the trends and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't stay with like the basics, the simple things. So I really think that's something I would tell a recruit, and something I do tell recruits about Illinois.
Yeah, I think that's really amazing. I mean, she's just, like I said, she's just built an amazing program, and we're really grateful for Shauna Green. We want to talk about being a part of the family, and what was a moment last season or the seasons that you've been here where you really clicked with your team and your teammates, and how that really improved your guys' game and your bond.
Yeah. I feel like last year we had a lot of moments that kind of connected us even more. But I think one moment that really brought us together was maybe after our loss to Iowa. When we lost to Iowa, this was maybe January. I don't know when. It was kind of later in the season, but not late in the season. We lost to Iowa, and it was like a devastating loss, like because it was close the entire time. We were kind of up, and we kept getting beat by the same things over and over and over again. And it was still like a close game. And, we had a talk as a team, like in the team room. We talked for like an hour and a half maybe about like what we all needed to do, what we needed from each other without the coaches. Like it was just all of us. And I really think that brought us together because we were more vocal on the court, willing to, address things right away. And even now, like kind of seeing that transpire into the summer right now, like we're kind of, no one's holding back on anything. It's like, yes, we still do get in trouble, obviously, about things, but it's just kind of like, like we're right here, with each other, like hold each other up, pick each other up. And I really do think that loss to Iowa, like really connected us in more ways than one. And everyone wants to see everyone do good. Like I think that moment like really made us see that no one was like just playing for themselves. Like we're all here playing for each other, and that makes you go play harder. The same goal. If like the next person next to you is like willing to do this for you, or willing to do this for the team, willing to sacrifice this, willing to sacrifice that. So I think that was really eye-opening for everyone, because no one cares like who got the
it's not, you don't sit around and talk about everything you did wrong. It's like, how can we do better, and what could we have done differently? And that's really informative.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why we kind of made the run that we did make, obviously until like fatigue and all that kind of stuff hits. But that's the kind of stuff that makes you look forward to the next season, because you know what it takes to get there, and you know what it takes to push through that barrier that you kind of fell short of. So
yeah. And you've turned into one of the team's most like vocal leaders. Like what made you gain that confidence, and how did you kind of find yourself just gravitating towards being that more vocal leader for the team?
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah.
Especially
Doesn't
last
happen overnight.
season. That's what I'm saying. It didn't happen overnight. Last season, being called a veteran, and I'm like, yo.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
I'm like, yo, it's mine's just my second year here. The first year there, like, I didn't have to do much. It was 5 veterans on the court half the time.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Like,
They got it.
They was just bossing me around, like, yo, Jazz, there. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I didn't have to do too much. So then, like, now coming into the start of my second year, I only did 1 year. So technically a freshman in my head. Like, I just redid a freshman year. And,
Yeah.
I'm coming in last year, and it's just like, all right, Jazz, like, you're a veteran. Like, you got to
Step up.
say everything, like, step up. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, it's my
It's a lot of
second year.
pressure.
Like, I feel like I'm still kind of trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Exactly. And that's kind of what it was. I did have to fake it until I made it, obviously. And it wasn't the best all the time. I've gotten an ample amount of yelling at and, that kind of still do. But, it's part of, like, growing and learning.
Absolutely. You got to take that criticism
exactly.
and you got to instill it in everything that you do going forward.
Yes, exactly. And, me and Coach had a conversation towards the end of the season, and I was just kind of like, I understand it. Now, like, I understand, like, what I need to do for the team, what I'm willing to do for the team in that kind of aspect. And honestly, it was kind of weird because if I was kind of down or, like, wasn't, like, vocal, like, practice was, like, bad. And, like, okay, let's say I'm, like, happy and all that kind of, like, practice was really good. So it was kind of weird.
Changes the whole vibe.
That's what I'm saying. It was kind of weird because, like, most of, like, how I felt is how, like, the environment was. So then it was just kind of like, whoa, like, what
like,
I feel.
I set the tone.
That's kind of what it was. And it was just like, I kind of set the tone in most aspects of, like, what's going on the court and, like, how the communication is in huddles and all that kind of stuff. And once I kind of realized that and actually, like, I don't even know, like, reflected on it and wrote about it and all that kind of stuff, it kind of made me realize, like, yo, like, you can't just, show up. Like, you have to be able to
give it your 110%.
Make sure everyone's okay. And, make sure coach knows that, that you're there for the team and all that kind of stuff. So it was hard, but I think I'm understanding.
You're growing
now.
into it.
That's exactly.
And,
this
gaining
year
confidence
is very different
with every game.
From last year because you kind of, it's expected at this point now.
Yeah.
And, as being a senior too as well. So now technically I am a veteran. I'm a senior. So there's not much leeway in that regard. And
absolutely.
Just kind of knowing that I do still have to step it up a little bit more because, it's still kind of a little bit of a problem. But at the same time, I think everyone knows I'm there for them and everyone knows they can come to me and, I talk about the hard stuff. So
yeah, that's special.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. And tell me about your confidence kind of skyrocketing here at Illinois. What changed the most for you when you arrived at the team, and how does that happen? Like, what is it that really kind of helps you gain that confidence? Is it seeing those veterans and being able to kind of instill what they do best into your game? Or tell me about. I mean, gaining confidence is a hard skill.
Yeah, it really is. And obviously it's something that every athlete still, like,
you fight that every day.
Every single day. Just because, like, what you want to be, but then you have all these external factors that may, like, deter you from, like, your common goal.
Yeah.
And, I think me personally, like, when I first came to Illinois, it was my teammates that were, like, really like, yo, Jazz, like, we know what you can do. So, like, kind of do it, like, that was kind of that area of it. And then, obviously Coach Green, I was talking to Becky, talking to my coaches, Coach Mack, at the time. And, just they were helping me and telling me what I needed to get better at, what they wanted from me, what they were expecting from me my first year. I feel like last year things were a little bit different. Confidence-wise, it was like, I think the role that I had my first year and the role I had my second year were two very different roles. So now I feel like this is a different type of confidence that I need to have. I need to be more confident in my voice, confident on defense, confident on, like, doing all the little things, just because we were missing that in a way that we didn't miss in the first year. So I could focus on other things my first year compared to the things I need to focus on last year because those were the things we were lacking in. So that was just another thing. And then just kind of leading with that as well, which brings a different type of, narrative into like what's going on. So, I mean, but you have so many people around you that just help you. And then also knowing last year, pretty much almost everyone was new or a freshman. Outside of like Barry, myself, Letty, and Gretch. Like, it was probably some other ones that Haven, she's not Irene.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everyone else was pretty much just like new at that point. So it's just kind of like, I can't like portray like what I'm feeling onto them. So it's kind of like I have to be able to like, yo, like it's good. You got the next one. Like this is like what's going on. Cause I can explain like what's going on. And that helps you stay confident as well. Cause when you can explain something to someone, it makes you feel confident. It's almost like a math problem. If you can break down how to solve a math problem, you can do it. So like once you start talking more and, telling teammates like how you think about things, like what your thought process is behind things, it all makes sense. And then they all like kind of like almost pour into you because they understand it and like they do something good on the court and it's like, oh wow, like I did that, like, I didn't do that, they did it, but it's just kind of like I can feel confident in what I'm saying and what I'm feeling and how things are portraying onto the court, whether it's me or whether it's my teammates. And that's kind of what I get my confidence from. Is that.
So be kind to yourself and gain that confidence in your abilities and be able to inject that, because it's like that reflects to everybody around you the way that you feel about yourself.
Exactly.
So outside of your immediate coaching staff, who has had your biggest impact and who's made your biggest impact on your game?
Yeah. The first person that comes to mind is my G-Ma, my grandmother. She was very like, she did everything for me when it came to starting off in basketball. And, her and my mom came to one of my first games. This was maybe in 5th grade. I was just like, oh, I'm going to go try for the basketball team. Like, woo, like, just do something, just to do something. And
I'm like, I'm bored.
You're not even going to make the basketball never Like, how are you? Like, never played basketball. But, like, they don't know I used to be outside, on the black court. Like, I was playing on the black court, so I learned some skills from some of the dudes and some of the girls that were out there. So, I was like, I'm just going to try for the basketball team. And I made the team, like, and I made the A team at that. And they were, so I came home, I'm like, I made the A team. They're like, how? And, they came to my first game, and they were like, we're not watching that. My grandma was like, I'm not watching that. Like, she's like, I grew up watching Michael Jordan, all of them. Like, I'm not watching that crap. Mind you, I had like 12 double dribbles, like 20 travels.
Well,
like,
you've got to start somewhere.
Bad. That's what I'm saying. It was so bad. And she was like, no, like, I'm going to get you a training coach. Like, if you say you're going to play basketball. Exactly. She was like, if you say you're going to play basketball, like, going to have to do something. So when I come to the next game, it's 12 times better. So I'm not, like, she was very adamant, like, I'm not doing that. So she's been like my critique in my head. Like, she's someone that, even my AAU games, like, if she sees like I'm slacking or I'm lax, like, she may come over there and like say a little something to me to, make me, lock in on the court. But she's like someone I still to this day like will call about basketball, and she'll like give it to me straight, like be very honest about it, very honest about what she's seeing. And even now my mom does that too. My dad is more so the softy, like, don't listen to them, like, you good,
it's like,
baby.
You did your best.
That's what that's my dad. He's like, you did your best.
You gotta have one of those though.
Yes, he's more so the sane one. He's like, your mama, your grandma, but me, like, you good, baby. Like that's my dad. But my mom and my grandma, they are like, they are the strict ones for me, and they hold me accountable, which I really like.
You got to know who to go for tough love and
yes, I
advice.
appreciate that about them, because I feel like nowadays, like, I don't know if a lot of kids like have that accountability in their parents, or their parents like do it too much, and like don't have the medium, and now it's just putting so much mental pressure and stuff on the kids. And I feel like I did have that in high school with my grandma, but she kind of calmed it down, and we've had conversations
she's
about
like, okay,
it.
she's on a good course.
Exactly. So right now, like in college, like it's been amazing, like talking to my family at home and hearing their perspectives. Like they never say anything bad about the coaches or anything. It's just always like like, what do you need to do, like, to perform on the court and perform how you want to perform. And, I like that I have that accountability in all of them. And then I have my dad, who's just like, he just
wants
to
you
pour
pat
love into me. Exactly.
Like,
so
you'll get him.
Love that from all of them.
Yeah. What helps you stay grounded during these seasons?
Honestly, like, in my family. I have my hometown coaches as well, Coach B and Coach Fudge. When things may be getting a little too high, they're the ones I call, like, just from a basketball perspective and life, school, like, vent to them, and they're there all the time. Like, Jazz, you got it. Like, we know what you're capable of. You know what you're capable of. Like, just kind of pouring life into you sometimes, especially when you get to the nick of the season and everything becomes so repetitive and you may lose a couple games, some tough ones that you should have won. It, like, puts a lot onto you because everything is so tense. Like, especially in the environment that you go into, everything is very tense. Like, players are feeling very different things. Coaches are like, we got to get a win. We got to get a win. Yeah. So, like, in those moments, like, everything becomes so tense, and it's like, what do you need to, release that tension? Because I know sometimes, like, when I walk into that building, I already know how it's going to be. So, like, outside of the building, like, what is going to ground me? And it's most definitely the people. And that's why people are so important. Even, like, your teammates, like, off the court, we bond so well and we talk about things right away that it doesn't make going into those environments hard or, like, dreadful. It's just kind of knowing, like, that's what's going to be expected and you're going to have to be able to speak up in those moments. But it's not dreadful to do it because, the people care. And, so it's nice to have that internally and externally.
Yeah. We have a question from Coach Shauna Green herself, and she wants to know, what have you grown into the most? What have you learned the most since you have been here at Illinois to make you a better player on the court and a better person?
One thing I've learned is Coach Green's never wrong. She says something, like, you just do it. That's a joke.
No questions asked.
No, for real. Like, they're seriously, like, they're very, like, one thing she's, like, taught me the most is that your voice matters. What you say matters. Like, she's all in on players' opinions, what players think about things, and she doesn't just want it to be her voice saying, or, like, her say all the time. Like, it's not like, no, this is what it is and that's end all be all. Like, no, she'll ask questions like, so what do you guys think about this? What do you guys feel about this? Like, ball screen coverage in games, do you guys want to do this or you guys want to do something else? If this is not working, like, we can just do something else. Like, she's very
adaptable.
Adaptable and open in that. And that gives you as players the confidence, one, to, like, go and do anything for her, and two, to be able to use your voice and vocalize, like, nah, like, I'm not okay with this and that kind of thing. But outside of that, that's just anything, like, as a leader, being vocal. And then something else is consistency. Like, the staff knows this is something I struggle with being consistent. Just because, like, I'm one of those, like, go with the flow people. Like, whatever happens. Like if the wind could just take me and just breeze me around, like, that's, like, how I would live my life. But you can't do that in this type of lifestyle. So it's just kind of like, being consistent in what you're going to do every single day. And, we've had those conversations, Coach Green and I, and, she was like, just journal, like, and, they kind of all got me into journaling. Like, the coaches were on me, every single one. Like, oh, Jazz, did you journal tonight? Did you journal tonight? No,
taking
like,
that time.
Journal, like, and,
you underestimate it.
Exactly.
But it is really formative, and it's nice to be able to reflect in
so
that way.
Helpful. And then it keeps you grateful. And that's one thing Coach Green talks about all the time. And, that's one thing they've really poured into me is, like, being grateful, seeing everything from a different point of view of gratefulness and not having to do something. And, it's really changed how I look at a lot of things that I'm doing in life when I move out of gratefulness. And that's to the coaching staff and Coach Green all together, because before I used to be like, oh, like, the wind don't want to blow me here. Like, I don't want to, but nah, like, when I look at things and grateful about those things, when I write down what I'm grateful for every morning, every night, like, it really changes how you move about things in life. And
of course.
And everything I just said, for the most part, is, like, off the court. Because, got to be consistent in what you do. And, they vocalize that every single day. And our coaches are some of the most consistent people I know. Like, they do the same things every single day, every single night. And to have those type of role models, like, that you see every single day, that, like, helps you and motivates you a little bit more. Like, they're not just preaching and not doing, like, they're preaching and doing what they're saying. So that kind of, like, and you see where they're at, as well. So that kind of makes you realize, like, like, they're not just BSing, like, kind of lock in on that kind of stuff. And I think this is my third year now, and this is the most, like, consistent I have been since the off season to now with everything. And I'm sure the coaches would say that as well. So
Yeah. We're going to talk about your Mount Rushmore of basketball players. I want you to tell me who your top 4 basketball players are that you admire, that you watched growing up, that you take things that they're good at and implement into your own game, their attitudes. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, wow.
I know it's a little bit of a loaded question, but
I always say like, oh, wow, because I got into basketball so late that I was never really watching it before. So I feel like a lot of my stuff would be very like recent. Like I didn't even know like NCAA or the WNBA was a thing until high school. So it's just kind of like, oh, like, you know, I'm kind of
that's
behind
crazy
on
though.
that.
Yeah, but you found the passion without like any of those role models though. You just found it and you were like, I like this. I'm gonna lean in.
Pretty much. That's what happened. So I can say one person for sure I would have on my Mount Rushmore is Dirk Nowitzki, and he became my favorite player. I got my dad gave me his jersey and everything. And this was like when I was younger. Me and my brother, we were playing 2K.
That's a formative moment though.
Exactly. Yeah. We were playing 2K and I shot mind you, didn't even know how to play. I just hit a button. Dirk Nowitzki.
You're just like, clicking, hoping something landed.
Chucked the ball up and he hit the shot. And I was like, that's my favorite player right there. So like he's been my favorite player for the longest, Dirk Nowitzki, and then obviously Luka was one of my favorite players just because I was a Dallas girl, obviously just because of a buzzer beater I hit in the game. So then I became a Luka girl. So those are probably 2 people I'll have. Then on the women's side, I most definitely will have Chelsea Gray. I just love her game, her offense creativity, and she's always having fun when she's playing. So I really like that about her game because you can see it.
Yeah,
in, how she's playing. And then another person.
Anybody that you've seen kind of play in person that you were like, oh man, they've got it.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to see. Honestly, I like Angel Reese. I'd probably put Angel Reese on there. I love Asia Wilson too, don't get me wrong. I've just never seen her play in person, which I'm so excited because I'm going to the All-Star game and I'm going to be able to see her play in person. But Angel Reese is someone like I've got to play against and, you know, see in person as well. And I feel like she gets a lot of like hate for no reason. Like she's really good at what she's good at.
Well, people hate things.
No one can
people
stop
that
it.
are really good at
That's
their
what
things.
I'm saying. I kind of like it because she comes in and she does the same thing, keeps her head down, grinds.
Consistency.
Exactly. And no one like stops what they complain about her for. But like, if that's all she can do, stop it. Like, you know, if you think that's all she can do, like stop all that she can do. So I kind of like her for that and admire her resilience in that aspect and all the social media and still just coming up to work and, you know, doing what she's good at. So, hi, Illini fans. This is Jasmine Brown-Hagger from the women's basketball team. Our team enjoys spending time together, and nothing brings people together quite like pizza. Whether you're watching a game, celebrating a birthday, or just getting together with friends, Papa John's makes every get-together even better. Order your favorites today and enjoy better ingredients. Better pizza, Papa John's.
We're going to talk hypotheticals. I love this question. If you could turn anything into an Olympic sport, what would you win gold in?
Yeah, we had this question yesterday. I said cleaning.
Cleaning,
yeah. I think that's a pretty easy one.
Do you have roommates? I bet they love you.
I do have roommates, but I don't think they love me that much because I clean my stuff. So like I kind of leave everything.
You're like, this is
else.
mine. It's clean.
No, for real.
You're on your own.
That's kind of how I am in that regard. Like, but also like I will clean around too, but sometimes it's just like
it's hard because you're like, I'm gonna clean it, but I know that it's probably not gonna stay clean.
Exactly.
So I'm just gonna keep my space.
Exactly. And honestly, the way my dad, you know, had me and my siblings cleaning and doing chores, we probably was in the Olympics at that point. He had us scrubbing walls and stuff. So I feel like if that was an Olympic sport, I could do that. And and my mom, like during COVID, like started some janitor thing, and bro, she took me and my brother and my sister, like, yo, can y'all go clean this school? Like, so we was cleaning schools and stuff, poop all on the toilet, like, so you know, I feel like I can do that as an Olympic sport.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Most definitely teleportation. Like, Especially like,
I just don't think it can get much
weekend.
better.
I don't think it can either. And we get the weekend. I
Yeah,
can
we're
just
from Illinois,
teleport
so be
onto
able
a
to go to the
vacation
beach or something.
That's what I'm saying. I don't need to get on like a 12-hour flight and I can just teleport and be back for workouts. I would love that, especially because I love to travel and I'm always gone. Like, the coach is like, oh, like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh,
like,
nothing.
I'm going to dip for a little bit.
Man, I'm always like, oh, nothing. But then like I get home and I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, I'm such a in the flow moment, as you guys know. Like, I'm like, oh, shoot, sorry, coach. Like, I did end up in like Florida, like, but like I wasn't lying in the moment, but like, just kind of how life takes me. I just kind of do a lot of spontaneous things. And if I could just teleport there, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
If you could spend a day volunteering, what would you do?
Obviously, I would probably work with the homeless and I like talking to them and, kind of hearing their stories. Like if you've talked to some of them and, hear some of the stories of how they got there and, it kind of makes you feel more sympathetic to like what's going on and kind of like makes you wonder like why like people with like, sorry, I was about to cuss, but people with like a lot of money like don't like, help these situations but then they always like speak about it.
Really changes your perspective.
Exactly. And the number one thing a lot of homeless people ask for is socks. So like when I see like homeless people, I'm like willing to like, let me go get them some socks and I'll drive around, give them some socks. If I see some outside the gas station, I'll go get them like some food out the gas station. Like every single day I'm always like, kind of helping. And some of them are rude, don't get me wrong, but like, I'm here like, just trying to like, just be sympathetic towards like people's situations. You never would know what mental battles people are facing.
Absolutely.
And all that kind of stuff. So like if there any volunteer work in that and feeding them, whatever, like I'm down for it.
Yeah, so. That's really special. I love that answer. What is one thing that you would like to do to achieve before you're done playing? What's just something that you'd like to do overall in your lifetime?
So is that two questions?
Yes.
That's two. Okay.
In your game and in your life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So obviously while I'm here playing, I want to win a ring. Like I don't know what other answer, like Big Ten tournament, postseason, whatever. Like I want a ring before I like leave college. And in life, honestly, this may sound so like cliche, but just want to be satisfied, like fulfilled. Like
that's not cliche at all.
Like I feel like everyone goes chasing so many things, so many different things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need this to be happy. I need this to be happy. But I just want to be able to like grow up and be like still and
content.
Like exactly content in what I have going on, content in the family I've made, content in the job that I have. Like I don't want to like always wonder like what's next or what's more. Like I want to be able to be happy and grateful for what I have.
Yeah. I want you to share the story behind why you wear the number 8.
Okay, so it's not a long story at all.
Okay.
When I started playing basketball, honestly, I feel like I was more coordinated back then than I was now, just because of dance at the time. I'm not doing dance anymore, so I was way more coordinated back then. And my first AAU coach, he was just like, I don't know, she kind of reminded me of Kobe, the way she moves and the way she like, gets her to her pull-ups and all that kind of stuff. And he was just like, I'm just going to give her number 8. Mm-hmm. So, that's just kind of just been my number, like number 8. Obviously, when I went to high school, number 8 was not a legal number, Okay. They just changed the rules, like, to European numbers 2 years ago, I believe. So, like, I was never like, not really allowed to wear number 8. Yeah. So I was, like, number 22. And no reason behind.
That's my favorite number.
For real, 22?
Yeah.
I couldn't even give you a reason why I was 22. I just picked 22. So that's what I wore my freshman year. And then when they changed the rules to European with the numbers, my first year here, I was like, yo, can I get 8? Like, I've always been 8. Like, I'll be in 22. My mom's yelling, let's go 8. Like, and everyone's like, there's no like, 8 on the court. Like,
Who is she talking to?
Yeah. So it's just like something that was just the first number ever given to me. And, I just want to wear it. So I feel like it's my number.
Yeah. Tell us about one thing that you're really looking forward to in the upcoming season.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to our wins.
Of course.
And just getting closer with everyone. You can always get closer within a season because you go through so much, and just seeing our growth and seeing how some of the stuff that we maybe fell short of last year, that we've learned from is stuff that's probably going to pay off this year. And I know like we talk about it even now. Like, we're also like, I don't want to say anxious, but just excited is a better word. We're also excited for like what's to come and, you know, everyone's success on the court. And I feel like it should just be a fun season to be a part of. Like, you know, we all know each other and
getting in that groove.
Exactly. Once you get in the groove, it's just like,
watch out. Tell us about what it means to be a Fighting Illini for you.
Honestly, it just means that you're part of a community that will have your back.
Yeah, this community is like
everything.
nothing else.
And because you're part of that community, you're also part of that, like, you know, part of giving to other people as well. So
it gives back to you as much as you put into it.
Exactly. Like, you get in what you put into it. So I really enjoy that, especially we just took like a trip, you know, that they do for the Illini Way. They do like some of these events for us. And kind of
that looked sick.
Yes, it was really fun, and being able to connect with other student athletes on campus and other student athletes in the Big Ten, having like serious conversations and just representing Illinois. You just kind of know what that means because it's talked about so much. And, you know, we just carry ourselves differently in the orange and blue. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And being able to share that and have people witness that.
Yeah, it's really special. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. We love having you. That is the Illinois Script. I am your podcast host, Olivia Moffitt, and thanks so much. We really appreciate you listening and watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.